Hello everyone, my name is Bhavna Singh. I am working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is an online tutorial on software engineering. So let's begin with today's session. Students, today we will start with lecture 3 of unit 1 and these are the topics that we will be discussing today. That is software requirement analysis and specification. What is requirement engineering? What is the process of requirement engineering? What is requirement elicitation techniques and what are its various types like QFT techniques and FAST techniques. We will discuss about each one of them in detail in today's lecture. Now let's start with software requirement analysis and specification. First of all, what is requirement analysis? Requirement analysis is something in which we analyze, we refine, or we scrutinize all the requirements from the customers in order to get the consistent and unambiguous requirements. It is very much important and essential activity, you can say, in the development process. And in this activity, we review all the requirements that we gather from the customer. And we start analyzing all the requirements as soon as we get it from the customers. And therefore, the process of requirement engineering is to gather the software requirements from client. Then after gathering all these requirements, we analyze them and we document them in the form of an SRS. So this complete process is known as requirement engineering. In this diagram you can see that these are the steps that we follow when we gather the requirements from the customer. The first one is requirement elicitation, means the way through which we gather the information from the customer. Then the second one is requirement analysis. As soon as we gather the information from the customer, we start analyzing it, we start refining it. Third one is requirement documentation. Documentation means whatever we have gathered, whatever requirements we have gathered from the customer, on the basis of that we create a document which is also known as SRS document. And after doing all this documentation, analysis and gathering, at last we do the review of the requirements, and this is mostly conducted by the senior team members of the development process. So this is the complete process that every development team follows after gathering the information, or you can say after gathering all the requirements from the customers. Now the next topic is requirement engineering process, which means what process is followed by the development team in order to make a software product. After gathering all the information, what procedures they follow. So basically it is a 4-step process which includes, the first one is feasibility study, then second one is requirement gathering, third software requirement specification, that is we are creating a SRS document, and fourth one is requirement validation. So we will discuss each one of them, each one of the steps in detail now. Now the first step is feasibility study. This step occurs initially when a customer, it approaches a company and it tells or it presents its ideas about the software, what software he is expecting and what all functions he want his system to perform. He presents all these ideas to the development team, and after listening to all his ideas, the team or the analyst, they do a detailed analysis of these requirements, and they, on the basis of these requirements, they decide that whether the what the customer is expecting, whether that requirements can be achieved using the current software and the hardware technologies or under the current budget. So they decide whether to go or not ahead with the project. And after doing a detailed study, they decide that whether the project is legally or technically feasible, and whether the project in which the customer is investing is worth the investment. So all these factors they consider, and they create a feasibility report, and that report contains all the adequate comments and recommendations for the management that decide that whether or not the project should be undertaken, or whether they should build that process or project or not. Now, after the feasibility study, if the analysts they decide that yes, they can build the process or they can develop the software on the basis of the requirements that they receive from the customer, they present a positive reports towards the undertaking the project, and they presents the positive report to the development team that yes, it is practically possible to implement all these requirements, and we can make a software development on the basis of that. So after this, they start gathering the requirements from the customers by discussing with them or by presenting a questionnaire to them or by asking questions to them. So all these things they can do to gather all the requirements from the customers and present it to the analysis team. Now, after gathering all the requirements from the customers, the software analyst they prepare a document on the basis of that requirements, and this requirement they receive from the customers. This is written in some natural language like some Hindi or English, but it is the responsibility of the analyst to document those requirements that they receive from the customers into the technical language, so that it will be easy for the software development team to understand the requirements, and on the basis of these requirements they can build the software process. And the document that the analyst they present to the development team, it defines all the intended softwares, that how the software will interact with the hardware, what will be the external interfaces, interfaces, what should be the response time, how the quality is maintained, and what should be the security. So all these things they define in that document. Now these are the features that are included in the SRS document. First of all the requirements that we gather from the customer, they are expressed in the natural language like any English or any Hindi. And then these requirements that they receive from the customers, these are presented to in the technical requirements by the analyst. The analyst they present, they convert these requirements into the technical requirements so that they can present it to the development team and it can be used inside the organization. Then the description, that the design description that they mention in that SRS document, it is written in the pseudocode, means some false code they write for it. And after that they include the notations or the symbols for the DFT, that what should be the data flow inside the process, and what should be the source, what should be the symbol, where the data should be stored. So all these features are mentioned in the SRS document. Now, after the requirement specification, the requirements are validated by the expert teams. It is the process of checking the requirements for consistency and completeness. Means they examine that whether all the requirements are correct in all aspects or not, and their main focus is to discover errors in the requirement documentation. And if they found any error, then they ask them to modify and to correct all these problems. And after all these requirements, they check against the following conditions, like whether the requirements that are specified by the customers, whether it is practically possible to implement them, and whether the requirements are complete and correct in all aspects, or whether we can be able to demonstrate it, or as per the functionality that is required by or that is demanded by the customer, it is possible to implement all those functionalities on the system or not. So all these things, all these requirements, they are checked by the expert teams after doing all the specification process. Now next comes is requirement elicitation technique. Students, before understanding what is the technique of elicitation, we should understand the meaning of elicitation. The meaning of requirement elicitation is the way by which we are gathering the information, by which we are gathering the requirements from the customers. By you can say that we can gather the information with the help of discussion with them, or with the help of asking questions to them, or with the help of interviews. So all these ways by which we are collecting all the requirements from the customers, these are known as requirement elicitation. And we have various techniques for gathering all these requirements, like we have quality function deployment, which is also known as QFD. We can conduct a brainstorming session, we can have a fast, that is facilitated application specification technique. So all these techniques we follow so that we can be able to get all the requirements from the customers. On the basis of that we will able to build the software product. Now let us understand how these techniques are useful in collecting information from the requirements. So we will discuss each one of them in detail, and we'll start with the first one, that is QFD, quality function deployment. The main focus of this gathering technique is to enhance the quality of the software that they are developing for a particular customer, and they gather the information by conducting interviews, or you can say the surveys with the customers, and on the basis of that surveys they examine the historical data and they use that data as raw data so that they can use in the existing softwares also. And in this process they gather all the requirements from the customers and then convert these requirements into the technical specifications that they can use in the development process. So basically QFD starts with collecting all the information or all the requirements from the customers, and then by conducting interviews or by conducting surveys, and then these observations or requirements, these are converted into the technical specifications. And after that, after converting this into technical specifications, these are checked against the functionalities, and then the development team, they start working on it and they start checking that whether the functionality at each level is meeting or not. So the main focus of the entire team is to enhance the quality of the product. Now this is the method that we follow in the QFD process. First of all, we collect all the information from the customers, and along with the requirements we also gather all the constraints that may affect the development process or the requirements development. Then the second process is we convert these requirements into a proper list. We maintain a proper list of all these requirements. And then the third one is we convert this list into a table, you can say, or into a matrix, you can say, that translate all these requirements into the technical specifications. And this table also is also known as the customer voice table. Why it is known as customer voice table? Because in this all the voice of the customer that we have taken, all the requirements that we have taken from the customers during the surveys or during the interviews, all these points are mentioned in this table. And after creating that table we indicate a value, or you can say a degree of importance to each requirements, and on the basis of those degree we can solve the problems one by one. Let's suppose we give 5 points to the very important requirements, 4 points to the important requirements, 3 points to the average requirements, 2 points to the less important requirements, and 1 point to the which is least important, which can be ignored if once. So like this we indicate a degree of importance on a scale of 1 to 5, and on the basis of that we start doing the development process. Now the requirements that are present in the QFD, these are categorized into 3 types. The first one is normal requirements, the second one is expected requirements, and the third one is exciting requirements. So first, when we talk about normal requirements, these are the requirements that must be present in the customer's product so as to make him satisfied. The response time of the product should be good, and the speed should be good, it should be cost effective. So these are the basic requirements that must be present inside every software product. These are not explicitly stated by them. And the second one is expected requirements. Expected requirements is that the customer does not states them explicitly, but he or she expects it to be present in its system. For example, a customer wants that a password should be there for every application, so that only the authorized persons can use it by logging it with the help of the passwords. So these are the basic expected requirements, and everybody wants that the product that they are getting should be easy to use or should be reliable. So these are the basic expected requirements that must be present, and it makes the customer more satisfied. Then we have third types of requirement, that is the exciting requirements. These requirements are beyond the customer's expectations, and they are proved to be very satisfying when they are present and when the development team incorporates them into the product, because this makes the customer more happier and they are not expecting that much. So after, if they get so much of satisfaction, so these are the very fruitful for them. For example, if the system shuts down automatically whenever someone illegally wants to access the system, or someone wants to hack the system, so the system automatically shuts down. So these are the basic exciting requirements that are that makes the customer more satisfied or more happier. Then the next elicitation technique is the brainstorming session. It is a kind of group technique, or you can say it is a kind of group discussion or a debate. In this, debate is conducted between the stakeholders or the customers, and there is one facilitator also who is responsible to handle all the discussion process. In this, we make a group of people, and those group of people, they sit together and they address a problem and discuss about the problem or what can be the challenges, and on the basis of that discussion they generate many ideas as possible, and all their ideas, all their inputs, they are recorded by the analyst, so that it will be easier for them to analyze the requirements afterwards. And a trained facilitator is there who handle all this discussion and who is responsible for handling all the criticisms, all you can say, if any conflicts occurs. So all these things are handled by the facilitator very effectively. Then all these ideas are documented so that it will be easy for everyone to see it. And then all of them, along with the facilitator, they review the ideas and select the most interesting out of them, and then after selecting, they start discussing about how to combine or how to improve or how to implement that requirements or that ideas practically. And after finalizing all the things, a document is prepared which consists of all the requirements that are presented by the stakeholders along with their priorities. So in this technique, a group of people, they are deciding what to do and what not to do along with the facilitators, and they are generating as many as ideas they can have, and on the basis of those ideas a proper analysis is done and a proper document is maintained. Then we have our next technique, that is FAST. FAST means Facilitated Application Specification Technique. In this technique, the customers and the developers, they jointly sit together and they work together to understand the problems and expectations, and along with them that they propose a set of requirements. There are basic guidelines for this activity. That is, first of all, they arrange a meeting at the neutral site where both these developers and customers can come. Then secondly, they announce all the rules and regulations for the meeting. Third, they prepare an informal agenda, and which requires them to give the ideas that come to their mind. Then they appoint a facilitator to control the meeting. Facilitator is kind of a head, you can say, or a kind of a leader person that is responsible for handling the meeting. And at last, they prepare a flip charts, or they can prepare the flow charts, or they prepare the worksheets. On the basis of that, which will be easier for everybody to write their reviews, and everybody can see that. Now, this is the process of FAST session in which all the activities are conducted. First of all, it starts with each participant that is present in the meeting. It presents his or her list of objects, or he wants the services or the constraints, so that they can discuss it with everybody. And these ideas or these lists, they are displayed on the meeting boards or the large sheet of paper, so that it will be easier for everybody to look into it. Then secondly, they combined all the list for each topic and prepare it by eliminating all the duplicate entries, and they started adding more and more ideas. Then this combined list is again discussed among the developers and the customers, and then a finalized list is prepared by the facilitator. And once this finalized list has been completed, then the team is divided into small sub teams, each of which work to develop some mini specifications for one or the more entries of the list. Then each sub team then presents their many specifications to the fast attendees. Attendees are all the people that are present in the meeting. After discussions and additions or deletions are made to the list, so they present all the many specifications to the attendees. Then each attendee, they prepare their list of validation criteria for the product or the system that is present to the team. Then after that, a consensus list of these validation criteria is created, and then this sub team is asked to write the complete draft specification using all the inputs that they have put in the meeting. And after reviewing all the points and after removing all the redundant entries, or you can say duplicate entries, a final list is prepared by the facilitator and it is presented to all the attendees. So in this like this, the whole entire activities are conducted and the whole session is controlled. So students, after the discussion, it's time for the important questions of the day. First question is, you have to explain what is requirement engineering and why do we need it in the development process. As we have already discussed what are the various process and what are the various steps, so you have to explain all those steps in that question. And the second question is, you have to explain the various elicitation techniques as we have already discussed, like QFT, like FAST. So you have to explain all these activities in this question along with the steps that they follow and along with the procedure that is followed in these sessions. These questions are important from the examination point of view also, so do prepare them as well, as these are many times asked in the university exams also. So students, in today's session we have discussed about the requirement engineering process and why it is important, what are the various steps that are required in the engineering process, and what are the various elicitation techniques. So it was all about today. In the next session we will discuss about the SRS, what is the nature of SRS, what are the various components of SRS, and how it is organized in a particular organization. So that was all about today. Thank you so much for watching.